Juventus have won the Serie A titles for the past 6 seasons. This makes them the perfect candidate for the accepting every transfer offer series. We're going to turn the old lady on their head and sell their best talents. Today, we're putting Juventus into the challenge. G'day guys, how's it going? It is JarradHD here. Welcome back to another episode in the Accepting Every Transfer Offer series. If you haven't seen this series before, here's the rules. So here are the official rules for the Accepting Every Transfer Offer series. Number 1, plain and simple, we must accept every single offer that gets put to us. No ifs, ands, or buts. If a club wants a player, we'll give him to him. Rule number 2, we are permitted from making any signings in the opening transfer window for each season, which leads to rule number 3, we can only sign players in January. This way it makes it interesting because there is players available next season that can be sold on. And finally, rule number 4, it is the goal of the series, it is to win the league title in season 3. Let's get back into the video. But if you guys do go on to enjoy today's episode, don't forget to leave a like on the video. Make sure you let me know what side you want me to do next for the challenge. And also, if you are new around here, make sure that you bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button to subscribe today. So here is our starting 11 for the first season, but we all know it's not going to be anything like this by the end of the season. And as per normal, we're going to recall all the loaned out players so that they are eligible to be sold. And Juventus, they have a lot of them, so we'll keep recalling them and then we will get right into the transfer offers. So the opening transfer offer comes for Zaza. It's going to be from Schalke, £8.5 million. And a day later we get one, it's for Benassia, the centre back, £23.5 million from Chelsea. So the clubs, they're not holding back. And both Simone Zaza and Mehdi Benassia are off to their respective new clubs. Another transfer offer early in here for Thomas Rincon. Southampton want the 28-year-old midfielder for £6 million. They can have him for £6 million. Probably the biggest transfer offer we've received so far. It's for one of my favourite players in this Juventus side. It is for Bonucci. Is it going to be Man City? No, it's going to be Arsenal. They want to bring him in. Arsene Wenger wants him for £37 million. And as much as I hate to do it, we have to accept it. And there it is. Both Bonucci and Rincon are leaving to the Premier League. God damn it. A transfer offer for Daniel Rugani. Who's it going to be? Sevilla want the 21-year-old. If you've seen my rebuilding series, you know just how much I love this guy. But it looks like he's off to the La Liga. Also, I realized that I just said the La Liga, even though La means the. Sometimes I don't know what goes on through my head. Transfer offer here halfway through the window. It is for Leonardo Spinazzola. Nantes in the Ligue 1 want him for $4.3 million. Looks like they can have him. Transfer offer here for Asamoah. Hoffenheim want him, $13.5 million. We will accept that. And I noticed that a transfer talks thing had broken down. Who is that for? That's for Spinazzola, so he is not off to the Ligue 1 after all. But Rugani, he is off to La Liga for $20.5 million. I was hoping it'd be the other way around. Why couldn't it be transfer offers broke down or transfer talks broke down for him? Goodbye, Rugani. Transfer offer for Mario Lemina. Crystal Palace, £8 million. That is less than his value, which sucks. But he has to go. And Asamoah is officially off to the Bundesliga. And Mario Lemina officially off to the Premier League. We've sold a lot of players already. A transfer offer for Christian Pasquato with 1 hour to go in the transfer window. I don't think it's going to go through, but we'll accept the offer anyways. £1.4 million from Atalanta. And then we'll go back here and have a look and see if it actually goes through. But you can see as we scroll across the players that we have sold in this opening window. Not the major players, probably the biggest one was Bonucci and Benassia, but we've lost a lot of decent defensive players. Let's see if he goes. it doesn't look likely. It looks like that's how the first transfer window is going to end. I'll see you in January. Our first transfer offer in January is from Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. £30 million for the Colombian right midfielder Juan Cuadrado. Let's accept it. So we're going to make two signings here. The first one is in the event of Cuadrado leaving, and it's an upgrade regardless. Bernardo Silva from AS Monaco coming in for 43 million. And the second one is another upgrade. It is for our left mid spot this time. Anthony Martial from Manchester United, 37 million. Transfer offer here for another one of our midfielders, Real Sociedad, coming in for Stefano Sturaro. 9.5 million is his value, and they're going to pay 11 million. And it's a good thing that we went and got Bernardo Silva, because Juan Cuadrado is officially off to Wolfsburg. Oh, and I think I forgot to show you guys the league table. We're still crushing it. We haven't sold as many big players as I thought we would, but we're undefeated in the Serie A. I think this one might be the actual challenge where we finally win the challenge. It's going to be interesting from season 2 onwards and for the rest of this season, but let's get back into January. And we're going to make ourselves a brand new first team centre-back signing. We sold Bonucci. We're going to replace him with Rafael Varane from Real Madrid for 34 million. That is an absolute bargain. And Stefano Sturaro has officially left for La Liga. And we're going to sign our last player for this January transfer window for this first season. It is going to be the Italian central midfielder Marco Verratti, coming from PSG for £70 million. So here we are with 4 hours to go on transfer deadline day, and a transfer offer comes in for Mame Thiam. Never heard of the bloke, but it looks like he is off to Köln in the Bundesliga for 3.1 million. See you, mate. So here we are at the end of the season. We are league champions. Even though we sold some of our better players, we brought in decent replacements, and we still somewhat crushed the Serie A. Inter Milan only had 1 loss all season, but they had plenty of draws. And technically, we've done the challenge we wanted to in the first season, but it's mainly the third one we're focusing on. So it'll be interesting next year to see who goes, who comes, how we finish. If we finish top again, might even go 3 years in a row in this, but looking at the relegation zone, it is Crotone, Pescara, and Udinese being relegated. We did win the Supercoppa right at the start of the season as well, and we got eliminated in the semi-finals of the Coppa Nacional to Inter Milan. In the Champions League, we were eliminated in the quarter-finals from Barcelona, and in the Europa League, Roma won that. So season 1 was definitely an outright success. Not really going along the lines of how this series is meant to go, but let's get into season number 2 and see who stays, who goes, and where we finish. So this is not a good start to the second season. Anthony Martial, transfer offer from Bayern Munich. We brought him in January last season, and after half a season, he is already leaving the club, it looks like. Oh, god damn it. That is not the start we were after. It's definitely going to make things a little bit more interesting, though. It goes from bad to worse. A few days after Martial leaves, transfer offer from Chelsea for Paulo Dybala, £76.5 million. That's a lot of money, but Dybala is such a goddamn beast. And the man that was meant to be replacing Martial for the first half of the season, it looks like he is leaving as well. Marko Pjaka, the Croatian left winger I believe he is, looks like he's off to Newcastle United for £12.5 million. Not a message I want to be seeing. Paulo Dybala officially leaving Juventus. And Marko Pjaka, he is off to Newcastle. Federico Matteo is the next man that gets a transfer offer. Arsene Wenger wants another one of our players, 2.9 million. So it's confirmed, Matteo is the next man leaving Juventus. We are getting weaker and weaker. A transfer offer towards the back end. Chelsea get another one of our big name players. Miralem Pjanic, the Bosnian midfielder, looks like he's off to Stamford Bridge. And Pjanic, we're going to struggle this year. This first half of the season, It's what the challenge is all about. All our big name players are leaving. So we're actually holding our ground pretty decently halfway through the season here. We're only 5 points off the top of the league, which is a little bit surprising and a little bit scary because it shows just how good Juventus really are. We've lost some of our best players. Yes, we have a lot of our good players still, but no Dybala, no Martial, no Miralem Pjanic. I'm surprised to see us doing this well. But anyways, let's get into January now and see if we can re-strengthen our squad a little bit. So for this transfer window, I want to get 3 replacements in. A left midfielder / left winger to replace Martial, a striker to replace Dybala, and a central midfielder to replace Pjanic. The first one we're going to bring in is a left midfielder / winger. It is Felipe Coutinho, his second move in 2 years. He's coming from Bayern to Juventus for 62 million. And now we're going to get our central midfielder and striker. The first one, we're going to bring Paul Pogba back to Juventus. He's gone Man United to Juventus, Juventus to Man United, and now Man United back to Juventus. 130 million pounds. And we've got ourselves a striker, stealing Mauro Icardi from our Serie A rivals in Inter Milan. 78 million pounds. Welcome to Juventus. So somehow, at the end of this season, we've pulled it all back. Well, I say somehow, but we've gone out and bought some absolute beast players. We've gone back to back. Now it's a whole different ball game. Season 3, can we make it 3 league titles in a row and complete this challenge for the first time? It's looking pretty good. I mean, we lost a lot of our big players at the start of this year, but we brought it back so easily. So we'll have to wait and see. The teams getting relegated are Empoli, Sassana, and Palermo. We did go back to back in the Supercoppa, but we were eliminated in the semi-finals again of the Coppa Nacional. We lose to AC Milan, who end up losing in the final. So next year, a big challenge of ours will be to win the Coppa Nacional. And in the Champions League, we were eliminated in the round of 16 by Real Madrid, the team that beat Juventus in real life in the Champions League final. And Liverpool won the Europa League. So let's move on to the crucial season, the season we all care about, the third and final season, and see if we can complete the challenge with Juventus. So we're almost at the end of the first month of the window, and we finally get our first transfer offer. Alberto Brinoli. Who is he? Goalkeeper, 26 years of age, £2 million. We're going to accept that. And one thing I forgot to point out is that Barzagli did retire at the end of the last season, so we're going to have to go in for maybe a younger centre-back. I'm surprised that Buffon is still there. I thought for sure he would have retired by this point, but just thought I'd let you guys know. It's happened again. We keep losing strikers and newly signed players. Mauro Icardi is off to PSG for 66 million pounds. I don't mean to counter offer, I mean to accept. That is disappointing. And Alberto Brinoli is the first player to leave in this third and final season. And Mauro Icardi has officially left for PSG after half a season here. Bloody hell. And we receive a big transfer offer here with 1 day to go in the transfer window. Atletico Madrid coming in for an unhappy Claudio Marchisio, 17.5 million. A transfer deadline day offer from Club Bruges for Rolando Mandragora. No clue how to pronounce that last name, but it looks like he's off to the Belgium League. And Marchisio has left Juventus. He's been a great servant for the club, but he's off to Atletico Madrid. And the same deal here for Rolando Mandragora. He is off to Club Bruges with 8 hours to go. And with 1 hour to go in the transfer window, the final opening window in this challenge, it's been quite tame compared to a lot of the other transfer windows. Biggest players leaving obviously would be Mauro Icardi and Marchisio, but besides that, we've got a pretty decent squad, barring a few injuries for this season. So we do have a little bit of a challenge on our hands for the second half of the season. It's quite obvious to see that we're struggling to get wins every time, a lot more draws than most teams up our end of the table, only 1 loss as well, only 4 points away from top place Napoli, but let's see if we can sign some decent players and win the challenge. Go 3-peat winners of the Serie A. And we're going to bring ourselves in our third striker. Dybala left, we brought in Icardi. Icardi leaves, we're going to bring in Harry frickin' Kane, weakening Manchester United. We're signing him for a really good transfer sum, only 62 million. And we're going to bring ourselves in a brand new centre back. We're strengthening our squad quite decently. A fellow Serie A player, Stefan de Vrij, the Dutch defender, coming in for 53 million. And a position we've kind of neglected for this whole video has been the right back spot. Lichtsteiner is slowly going down in overall. So, considering it's the last season, let's go ahead and bring in a world-class right back in the game. Hector Bellerin from Arsenal coming in for 52 million. So, in the last sort of week, or just over a week to go in January, a transfer offer comes in here for Mattia Caldara, our reserve centre-back, £9 million from Sassuolo. And Caldara has left the club. So with 7 hours to go in this final transfer window, we get a transfer offer. Simone Andrea Gans, however you pronounce it, Frosinone. I have just completely ruined that, but the striker looks like he's moving to them for 2.2 million. Will he be the final player departure? Gans is off to Frosinone. So that's the end of our transfer window business. We'll take a quick look at the squad and see what our chances are like. Then we'll simulate to the end of the season and see if we complete the challenge. So this is our starting 11. Higuain stayed here the whole time, and probably Buffon and Alexandro. But besides that, the whole squad's brand new. And it's looking pretty damn impressive. I'm just happy we got Paul Pogba back in a Juventus kit. And I'm happy that we've kept Buffon, one of my favourite players growing up, one of my idols growing up. I'm pretty honoured to have him still in this squad. Our bench capabilities are half decent as well, and we've got a good core young reserves roster. In fact, I'm going to put... Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to keep Lichtsteiner on the reserves. But let's simulate now to the end of the season and see if we complete the challenge. We have failed the challenge. Probably our best starting 11 so far. And we finish 3 points behind Inter Milan. 4 losses this season, so I think that's our worst record. But I cannot believe that. Our slow start has come back and haunted us, and we have failed the challenge. Taking a look at the other tournaments, we win our third Supercoppa. We finally won the Coppa Nacional 3-0 over Inter Milan. And we won the Champions League. So we've done the treble, but the most important one, the one that this series is based around, we couldn't win. But anyways, fellas, that is going to conclude today's Accepting Every Transfer offer video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you leave a like on the video. And also, Scorpion, kick that subscribe button down below if you are new around here. Make sure you leave a comment suggesting who we should put to the challenge next. I'm open to numerous ideas, but fellas, most importantly, I hope you have a fantastic day. It has been JarradHD here. I'm out. Peace.